Joseph Pizza, welcome to the Coffee Pod. My name is Chisha Zed.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
Marquise Houston says women his age may come with baggage and kids. I could have married a 41-year-old. He says a 41-year-old woman could have been my wife. I could have picked a 41-year-old woman. You know they didn't like this. And it could have been disastrous. So guys, since Marquise first made headlines in 2020 announcing that he was 38 years old when he decided to propose and be engaged to his now wife, who was 19 years old at the time, women have sort of lost their shit, right? They're spitting out tea and they're going crazy. And I would think at this point, Marquise would probably kind of just focus on his relationship and marriage, but he's definitely not backing down and wants everybody to know that he does not regret his decision to marry his now wife. And I guess the question here is, why shouldn't he defend his marriage? Why shouldn't he? If they are in fact happily married, and I know they have children together, why shouldn't he? So guys, just to refresh you guys' mind on this current topic, because we're about to get into some very heated comments here. Let's check out what exactly happened. And this is brought to you by What's Brewing, the YouTube channel. It'll be pinned to the top of the comment section. Let's get a background story before we dive into this topic. Let's get it.
What's brewing, my people? Today's topic is a sour cup of joe that got everybody buzzing, to say the least. Stay tuned until the end, because the drama surrounding Marquise Houston is nothing short of wild. So buckle up like a crash dummy and let's dive right in. Marquise Barrett Houston, born on August 4th, 1981, is one multifaceted dude. This American sensation is not only a slick R&B singer, but also a smooth songwriter, a fierce dancer, a stunning model, and a killer actor. You may recognize him as the talented Roger Evans from the 1990s comedy hit Sister Sister. Since breaking out from the R&B group Immature, aka IMX, back in 2003, Houston has been slaying the solo game with platinum studio albums that are nothing short of epic. Now, Marquise Houston's marriage to Maya Dickey stirred up controversy when it was revealed that they met when she was just 17 years old. Now, why is that an eyebrow raiser? Well, at the time, Houston was 20 years her senior, resulting in many people criticizing their relationship and questioning the appropriateness of the age gap. Now, however, in this interview with TV1's Uncensored, Houston spoke candidly about their love story and how they connected on a deep spiritual level. Houston explained that he and Dickey met through mutual friends and initially had no real conversation or connection until she turned 18. He emphasized that their bond was built on their shared faith in God, which he considers to be the most important thing in a relationship. In addition to their spiritual connection, Houston also noted that they bonded over their mutual love for music, which brought them even closer. Now, despite the backlash and criticism, Houston remains unapologetic about his love for his wife and their unique story. He expressed how much he loves his wife and how their relationship reminds him of the kindness and heart of his own mother. The couple welcomed their daughter Zara Denise Houston in December 2021, and Houston couldn't be happier to be a father. While some may continue to question their relationship, Houston and Dickey remain committed to each other and their family. Houston emphasized that love knows no age, and as long as they are happy together, that's all that matters. But as you can imagine, many in the public aren't quite on the same page. So let's take a look at what they're saying. First up, we have this gentleman that said,
So we're going to get into these comments, but real quick, love has no age when it's legal, right? Legally, make sure we add that in there. But to some women out here, this does not matter. And we're going to get into that, man. Let's check out these comments.
all I see is someone who was groomed, grooming someone else. Now that comment is followed by this statement here. Marquise Houston is disgusting. These N-words don't give a damn about messing with kids. Always speaking about who's legal and who's not. Ain't no damn difference between you being 40 with a 17-year-old and being 40 with an 18-year-old. That's the same child, just a different day. Moving on, another commenter says, Marquise Houston could go to hell trying to frame his marriage as something so great and how they have a lot in common. LMAO. And another commenter responded to that saying, this woman is just like me. Marquise Houston describing a teenager. And of course, this commenter says, that girl was a missing person and then just popped up in a relationship with him. Me and my wife's situation a little different. Boy, be so for real. And another commenter says, Marquise Houston married a 19-year-old girl when he was 38, with the sick emoji there. And finally, this commenter says with a direct at Marquise Houston, you really a weirdo A-N-word, trying to get on social media and justify statutory. You groomed her. You like children. You're effing weird. Hope the good Lord pushes your hairline all the way the F back and you age fast as F so that your wife leaves you. Jeez. Man,
Mercy.
People are angry. Goodness gracious. Anyway, so what's your take on the situation? Is age really just a number when it comes to love, or do you think there are limits to how far the age gap can be? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and let's keep the conversation going. As always, keep it fresh and stay focused on the grind. Thanks for tuning in, and until next time, peace.
All right, guys, there we go. Shout out to What's Brewing Official, even on Instagram. Make sure you guys go check us out. So guys, real quick, what I really want to focus on in this video isn't necessarily me trying to justify why this guy married his wife. To be frank, I know nothing about his relationship. But what I do want to point out is some of like the hypocrisy in this whole thing of men being very women, not men, women being very passionately outraged and ironically being older and single, but also being very outraged about older men who want to date or marry younger women, right? From my understanding, if it's legal, then it's okay, right? If it's legal, then it's okay. Because this thing gets real interesting when you look at it from this perspective. You think of somebody like the Catch Me Outside chick. As soon as she turned of age, and I think it was 18 years old, she released an OnlyFans account and she made millions of dollars. And what did women do? What did women do? All women said, oh, look at her, queen, get into the bag. Congratulated her for showing her butthole at 18 on OnlyFans, for getting naked online for a bunch of men who might have been jacking off to those photos. And let's just speak candidly about this situation. Why is it that women will congratulate an 18-year-old, 19-year-old stripper, 21-year-old, and think she can make the decision to sell cat? But when it comes to dating a man who they think should be dating someone around their age, they all of a sudden get bitter. Someone please explain that to me. Could there be a form of selective outrage, shout out to Chris Rock, in this particular situation? But what did Marquise Houston say that really triggered these women? Well, he said here, this is from a caption underneath that headline that I read earlier. It's a little bit more extended. It reads, women that are my age, they kind of have a different outlook on life. Houston tells at page 6, like a lot of women my age are very independent. They are very like, I don't need a man to do this for me because I can do it for myself. Sounds like he's talking about independent women who, if they're his age, right now, currently he's 41, and if they're single, I usually say there's a reason women, especially women who are attractive, are older and single. Usually it has to do with inner problems, work, incapability of cooperating with another man. But hey, so he says women my age are usually too independent, have too much baggage, too difficult. And I think men in general would agree to this. This is not just Marquise Houston who thinks this way. There's actual data that proves that men across the board prefer younger women for these very reasons, apart from the very obvious reasons that women who are younger tend to look better physically. So as you guys can probably guess, the women who are 41 years or older did not F with this coffee at all. They were heated and they came for this man. Let's see what they had to say. This commenter says, oh, I get it. He didn't want them to come with kids. He wanted them to be a kid. Got it. 4,000 post-wall women liked this comment. Gotta stay caffeinated. Another comment here from another woman says, women my age have a different outlook on life. Okay, but a young lady that has barely entered adulthood has a vast library of experiences under her belt to contribute. Just say you wanted to have someone you could manipulate and control, because the women your age aren't with the games and know their worth. I know my worth. That needs to be a new sound. I think I'm gonna put that in the notes. I haven't forgotten that one chick. I need to put her sound bite in there too, where she said, I don't drink coffee. I know my worth. I gotta find that. The 41-year-old women who are single know their worth so much that they are single and alone. They're worth so much that nobody can afford them. Where have we heard this before? Sounds like modern woman rhetoric to me. And guys, here's one thing I'm not gonna believe. I'm not gonna believe that women like this one who just commented and the rest of the comments we're going to read haven't heard men say what they look for in women. I know they know that men don't look for women who have a vast library of experiences. No, men don't want to wife that. But because these women are never going to accept what men want, they will continue to struggle. They will continue to struggle. And they'll be mad just like they are in these comments. This next commenter says, it's the way you just discredited other women because you chose to go with a younger woman. Laugh out loud, like 41-year-old women don't have their ish together out here. You chose what you chose, laugh out loud. But please don't do that, because a lot of 18 and 19-year-olds definitely don't have it together way more than women up on age, laugh out loud. So when I read that, I'm thinking to myself, are these women really upset about the age gap? And do they really feel bad for this chick? Let's go check her out. I found her IG here. Let's check. Okay, so you see photos here of her living a very good life. 500,000 followers. I'm assuming she's living the type of life that only a man like him can afford her. I mean, this is just me looking on the outside in. From looking on the outside in, this lady looks like she's living a luxurious, upscale life. Is she willing to leave this life? Is she happy? Is she okay with her situation? From what I see, she is. Here are other photos of her and him hanging out together. They have a child there together. That's what's up. Guys, that's not what this is about. I'm trying to figure out, are they upset about him dating her, or are they upset about men like him not dating them? Is this selective outrage? And to answer that question, I would say, well, are there other celebrities who may have a large age group that people just kind of ignore because maybe they may not be black men within like the black community, etc., or they don't say anything and they stay underneath the radar? But real quick, after just a simple Google search, you can do it too. I found 3 celebrities. First one is George Clooney. Him and his chick met, I think, in 2014. It says the world was shocked when famed bachelor George Clooney, then 52 years old, announced his engagement to international human rights lawyer, then 35 years old. 17-year age gap between them, compared to, what's it, 38, 19. And so Marquise has them beat by 2 years. And you might say, well, Chisha, she's 35. She's older. She can make decisions for herself. She wasn't 19 years old. She wasn't 20 years old. You know, a lot of these chicks are saying like, find somebody in their late 20s if you're in your 30s. Okay, how about this? Jay-Z and Beyonce, 12 years dating. The caption reads, the power couple first started dating back in 2001 when Jay-Z was 32 years old and Beyonce 20. 32 years old and Beyonce 20. Just a year shy from when Marquise was engaged to his current wife. Where's the outrage for this? Women love Beyonce and they don't want to piss her off, right? It's Queen Bee. And if you ask me, I don't think there should be any outrage for this. I think it's legal and they're making things work and they have a family now. It goes on to read, later they tied the knot in a super secret wedding on April 4, 2008 and gave birth to daughter Blue Ivy, etc., etc. Here's another one, Scott Disick and Sophia Richie. Sophia Richie was only 19 years old when she began dating then 34-year-old reality star Scott Disick. I mean, there are a bunch of examples, is basically what I'm trying to say, of men who date younger women. Some of these men are some of these women's favorite musicians, people who they listen to, look up to, and they don't say anything to these other celebrities. And the question is why? I think most likely selective outrage. Let's check out another comment here from another woman that says, just be real. Get along with a teenager because trauma happened to you at that age and you are emotionally stuck in that stage of development. Everybody turns into psychologists in the comment sections. The next comment here says, so men who are in their 40s, 50s, and 60s have a clean state and no baggage. It's only the women who carry the baggage. Okay, noted. Of course, it's coming from the mindset that women believe men and women are the same. That women also look for men who have no baggage and haven't been through shit in life, when we know that to be false. Women are usually attracted to a man who's been through a lot and overcome it and become a better person because of it. But even if he has scars from that. They're usually attracted to some of those things, right? If you're a hard man, women do find you attractive. When you're a woman and you've been through a lot of shit, and I understand there are people in this life who maybe they didn't choose that experience. Maybe it was a result of a broken home, etc. I get it, and that's unfortunate. Does it matter to those men? Does it change just how attractive you are? Because to the majority of them, it doesn't have to do with something that was out of their control. Nah, they were in the streets. They were partying. They took way too long to settle down, and they went through a bunch of toxic relationships, which makes them difficult. They're strong. They're independent. Another comment here says, men love saying we lose value after children, but be the main ones trying to force us to have them. Like, make it make sense. I don't understand men forcing women to have kids. Maybe it happens. I'm sure it does. Another comment here says, I smell control, ... But what a man seeks to control will eventually control him. What does that mean? I don't know. Another man here actually agrees with Marquise and says he's right. I don't know why women keep thinking the older they are, it makes them more desirable to us. The older you are, the more baggage you tend to come with. Children, heartbreak, trauma, debt, etc. Why would a man go for a 40-year-old seasoned yams when he can get a 20-something-year-old with a fresh womb and positive outlook on life? And ladies, for the last time, we are not the same with age and with children. Due to women getting residential custody of the child 90% of the time, I instantly become a stepfather to your children. Whereas the way family courts F over men on visitation, you'll see my kids 5 to 6 times a month. Ooh, that's a good point. If I'm lucky, he says. Also, no matter how good you look at 40, you can't compete with that 20-year-old version of yourself. Drink the coffee. It will make you feel better. Somebody else responded back to him and said, very true, ... I didn't agree with your first comment on this topic, but this one is spot on. And then here comes a woman who's very upset. She says, okay, well, no one wants your old 40 plus either. Y'all can't compete with your 20-somethings either. We don't want a Viagra popping. Just give me a minute. Nigga, she says. Fresh womb? Why would we want an old, dried up, low sperm count coming in our fresh womb? Laugh out loud, you men are ridiculous. Old saggy D's, she says, is not desirable to us either. I'm in my early 20s, by the way. She wants us to know that. Y'all not even good for money these days and think y'all are the catch. Please. This young 20-something-year-old talking about elderly men popping blue chews and wrinkly. How do you know about blue chews, Chisha? I know. Old men with wrinkled D's, etc. My question is, how do you know about wrinkled D's unless a couple of them have actually gotten to bust those cheeks fast, not slow? That's all she's doing here is telling on herself. How do you know about the 40-plus-year-old man if you're not letting them smash, ma'am? Sounds personal to me. Another comment here says they don't even hide their predatory ways anymore. Are you talking about Jay-Z? I'm out of coffee. I better wrap this up and fix my life. Let's check out. Oh, this woman says, ain't nobody telling men to date women with a bunch of children, out of shape, with a lot of baggage, toxic, ugly, non-feminine, etc. We just concerned as to why y'all so eager to date and marry children. There are plenty of beautiful, grown, intelligent, sophisticated, classy women in their late 20s or early 30s. Like me, she says. Notice how most of these chicks talking like this, they don't have any like husbands in their profile pictures. She goes on to say who are suitable. Men trying to normalize this is crazy, she says. What about Jay-Z? I mean, guys, listen, I'm not saying they should go attack Jay-Z for that. I'm saying, obviously, that relationship is working and it's legal. She was in her 20s when they started dating and there was a large age gap. Are you going to call that out? Or are you going to be selective with your outrage? I don't think they'll call that out. And I don't think they should call that out. I support Jay-Z and Beyonce's healthy relationship as long as it continues to be healthy, of course. He goes on to read, them same men are watching your daughter in an inappropriate manner. Because please don't think for a minute they wait until she's 18 to look at her sexually. Nuts. She goes on to say, thank God I don't have children because these men scare me. Ma'am, you want kids and a husband. Stop it. Stop it. Guys, that's it. I'm curious, after you've heard what you've heard so far in this video, what do you think of this topic? Do you think these women have like a right to be concerned for that chick and other women who are in their 20s, like Beyonce and whoever George Clooney was dating when he was in his 50s, or Marquise Houston? Or do you think this is a very, very obvious case of selective outrage? And listen, to be fair, I don't know the inner workings of any of these relationships. I'm doubting the concern of a lot of these women. I think they're angry because these relationships are an obvious reflection of nature, and they're a wasted time in the streets and not capitalizing on a man, because this is what they go through on a day-to-day basis. These are the women who they realize they have to compete with. Listen, as always, curious to know what you guys think. Leave your comments down below. I appreciate you for checking out another episode of The Coffee Pot. Till next time, I'm out. Peace.